So in this video, and we've actually broken down an earlier part of this video where this cop got this guy in a front headlock. We showed a few different front headlock takedowns that he could have done. Well, now he has a guy pinned up against a car, or in other words, a hard surface. So let's go over a few different takedown options if you find yourself in the situation. So once we actually get up into the wall, even before we hit the wall, you do have a couple options. So let's just say like the officer in the situation was hands-on with this guy to begin with, right? Couple options. If I notice that the wall's right behind him, the ideal approach would just be to continue driving them in, immediately look to split their legs with one of your legs. This prevents them to actually work out of it and get their hips free, right? Limits their mobility. And then ultimately, I'm gonna look to start pummeling and getting to a underhook of some sort. Now, in this case, I'm not wanting to keep this arm tucked. I want this arm up nice and high because it'll also limit his ability to whizzer and really crank down on that arm. And then again, I'm driving my shoulder and my head. And this is, again, the ideal approach. However, if you have the experience or if you just feel the need, maybe the situation is getting too out of control or I feel like I'm starting to lose these grips, I can hit for a double leg, and the beauty of trying to hit a double leg up against the wall is that they can't sprawl. So I can drive into them and then quickly change levels, get behind the hips. Again, good shoulder head pressure, right away, drive up, bring them straight down, and then from here, we can just look to get to some form of top control position. But again, it's a little bit easier to hit that from a wall position because again, I'm limiting their ability to sprawl and really defend it. Nonetheless though, ideal option, we get in here, we split the legs, we manage to get some form of an underhook, and then again, this other hand is just gonna be focused on trying to control this arm. Now, the first takedown option that we do have from here, I'm gonna take this hand and start just kind of aggressively driving this hand up and over the head to get their ears over their hips, makes them a little bit top heavy, makes it easier for me to now start kind of leaning down and grabbing at the ankle, and as I continue driving this arm through, I'm gonna pick up the ankle and look to take them down to the ground. Now, you could just right away fall to get on top. However, if we're talking from like a tactical standpoint, I would rather you clear the knee and right away we go to knee on belly. From here, I can start posting on their arms. I can use this leg to drive into them. And now I'm using my shin and that knee and belly to also drive them up into the wall. It's uncomfortable, but again, I'm in a better position where I can still do damage. I can control them, but ultimately I can pop back up to my feet quickly if I need to. If I get into this situation and I feel like his arm is starting to come up and over my head, now I'll actually switch to like a body lock position. I'll talk about why we typically won't go for body lock to begin with. But I'll go to the body lock, I'll take this leg and look to step behind their hips. And then right away from here, I'm gonna switch that body lock to the front. I can immediately just pull them straight down. And right away, we look to get back control, top control from there. Or what I can do is go for the good old switcheroo, switch my feet, drive them up and over the hip. And then once more, we look to split, get to like a headquarters position. And again, we control them from the ground. Now, the reason I don't necessarily want a body lock, sure, I might be in a body lock out here and we drive into the wall. If that's the case, I'm gonna immediately look to open up my arms and I should ideally be in an underhook position from there. But if I maintain that body lock from the back, you could get away with this, but depending on the surface that we're on, this is gonna suck. And then also the fact that I'm driving into him, I'm driving my own hand into concrete, glass, a dumpster, whatever, and it might be difficult for me to get this hand free. So I'd rather slam and then immediately open up the grip. And then again, if I do go for a body lock, it's because he's starting to turn away and I'm able to get the body lock on the outside of his hip. Now let's just say for whatever reason, if we get in here, maybe he gets aggressive and he's able to get that leg free, or I just have a hard time getting this leg in to begin with, I can start going for a single leg. Now I can do this a couple ways once we get to this position. Again, I still have an underhook here, so at this point, I might start switching it to some form of a body lock position. If I can get this arm, that's great. Yes, we can still do takedowns from this situation, but if we're focused on like a single leg, I can take that same leg and start dragging this leg out and then just look to start, again, kind of buckling them down in this manner. Or again, I'm actually going to quickly change levels, pick up this leg nice and high, sweep out, again, drive in, and right away, we look to pressure in and hold them straight down onto the ground from there. Again, I can hold them in this position. I can post and work all the way out to the front, and again, work up to like a knee on belly type position. It still gives you option, and more importantly, I'm using the wall to my advantage, not only for the takedowns by being able to hold him on the wall and limit his mobility, but I'm also using that to create pressure to just make it suck for him that much more when we are up against the wall. So yeah, in the UFC and stuff, you'll see guys picking people up, slamming them, whatnot. Those are all great options as well. But again, if we're talking self-defense, I'm trying to bring them down to the ground and maintain control the entire time. But more importantly, I'm using the wall to help me do so. So give those a shot, train them, stay safe.